Hello, welcome everyone. This is Two Guys on the Ball. You got me, D, and
This is Cam.
we here again with another episode. We're gonna start off. We're gonna come in. Last week we talked about what we were all about and everything. We talked about sports, anything that involves sports. We're on it. We're gonna be talking about it. Anything that happens in the community. We're gonna be talking about it. And so today we're gonna start off, man. We're gonna start off with well, first of all, 2K dropped last week. How do you feel about that, man? How you feeling about the new 2K that just came out?
So, oddly enough, I wasn't disappointed in 2K. I just wasn't impressed. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that 2K decided to split their current gen team and their next gen team. The one team they had in development. They just split it up and had them working on different stuff.
Yeah.
And like it feels kind of the same as last year, except for that god awful shot meter, man.
This is coming from somebody who he just figured out how to shoot on the move. He's trying to shoot. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. We took some L's. We also took some dubs in there. So back to the real basketball. What are you thinking about Danuel House, man? Have you heard this story about Danuel House?
Yeah, man, and I think the most frustrating part about this is like the NBA kind of became the model for how to do the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like baseball tried to do it. They kept getting all these positive tests for the coronavirus, and they ended up having to suspend a bunch of games. Like the NBA came in, set up the bubble, started playing, and they haven't had a single case of COVID since they've been in there.
Yeah.
And I was reading this article trying to figure out like the details of what it is exactly that the NBA is investigating, and they're staying pretty tight-lipped about it. But from the articles, it involves a female, Danuel House, Tyson Chandler, and that female being in an unauthorized place in their rooms. Now, I didn't realize that the NBA allows them to have guests. Like not just family members, but they can have guests. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like they have the guidelines set it up for player safety. So, I mean, man, I'm a rules guy. So even if the rule is dumb, just follow the rules and don't mess it up for everybody else.
I can definitely understand that, man. But I think when you get a whole bunch of guys, all this testosterone going, you got them in one area, and you got guys that are 20. Now your house is like 27 years old. I mean, that's kind of hard to keep those guys away, man. I mean, but the girl, she's staying pretty tight-lipped. She said that she was with Tyson Chandler. She didn't even mention Danuel House's name. So, I mean, hey.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know?
Listen, if the series goes the way I think it's going to go, he was going to be home this weekend anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true enough. That's true enough. But I'll say this: I am a rules guy, but I understand Danuel House. I understand why he did what he did. Moving on, hey, let's move to that Boston and Toronto series, man. What are you thinking about that Boston and Toronto series? What are you seeing?
So oddly enough, like the first two games of the series, I didn't really care to watch it because the matchup to me was boring.
Yeah.
Neither one of those teams has any superstars that do like these crazy things on a nightly basis. And they kind of play Spurs basketball, the two teams do.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of ball movement, sharing the ball, playing good defense, which sounds like it'd be great, but I'm a Lakers fan. So I'm used to watching all these superstars hit the court all at the same time, and just watching all this excitement that's in the West.
Yeah.
And the East this year, especially after Milwaukee got put out, I probably won't watch another Eastern Conference game, but I don't care to. None of those teams over there are exciting to me. But man, I was super surprised that Boston went up. Was it 3-0?
Yeah.
So Boston went up 2-0.
2-0.
2-0. I was super surprised by that, but then also surprised that Toronto didn't just lay down because it's real easy.
Hold on, they went up 3-0. I thought they went up 3-0.
I think it was 3-0.
Up 3-0.
Yeah, when you get behind like that, maybe you take a game off of them, maybe you don't. But it's easy to just kind of lay down after that. And them games have been some scratchers and
they not came back to tie it up, man. It's 3-3 now. So I mean, this is where to go home at this point.
It is. And unfortunately for the NBA, like I said, Miami got Milwaukee up out of there.
Yep.
So regardless of who comes out of the East between Miami and either one of the, me personally, I think it'll be the Celtics. Like
Yeah.
the Celtics have better individual talent, and sometimes late in the game, you need a dog to go out there and get you a bucket.
I think the momentum done switched though, and in basketball, man, when you lose that momentum, sometimes, man, that costs you everything, man. So that momentum done switched. So I'm interested to see what happens from this point on.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
sure.
one of the guys I want to ask you about. Let's move to our shooter pass. Let's move to shooter pass. We're gonna go to shooter pass. I want to ask you about one of the guys on the Raptors team, Pascal Siakam. Do you shoot or pass on Pascal Siakam being a star, being a leader, being the guy who's able to lead these Raptors? Shoot or pass?
So I think that I'm going to shoot on Siakam for this reason and this reason only. I feel like he can be the best player on a good team, but he cannot be the best player on a great team.
Okay.
I feel like what he's doing right now, I feel like Toronto is a very good team, very good basketball team.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're a great basketball team. So Siakam fits the mold for what they're doing in Toronto and would fit the mold a lot of different places. But he can't be. I don't think he could be the best guy on the team.
Yeah, I'm a pass on it, man. I'm a pass on it. I think, man, I feel like they try to shove him down my throat, man, as a star. I don't think he's a star, man. I think because Kawhi Leonard got up out of there, they try to say, okay, this is the star, Pascal Siakam. Siakam is a good player. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player. I do not think that he's a superstar. I think he has most of the things that he needs to be a superstar, but I don't see that it factor is not there with him. I don't see that.
That sounds a lot like Paul George, don't it?
I would take Paul George over Siakam, though. I mean, Siakam plays hard. He hustles. I think Siakam is a third player on the team. I don't think he's the second. But I think he's the third player. He's the glue guy. I think he's a glue guy. That's what I think Siakam is. So I'm a pass on Siakam. All right, the next one, the shot meter in 2K. You gonna pass or shoot?
Man, I'm skip passing that thing. I'm hard pass on the shot meter. That was the most disrespectful thing 2K could have ever did for a next-gen console, man. Terrible.
Yeah, I'm a pass on it too. I don't pass on it too. I don't understand what these guys were thinking. Like, why would you change up something that wasn't broke? That wasn't broke. Like, why change it? Why even go and it's so little. You can't even see it on the TV. It's like, how
oddly enough, it's actually, I don't mind it in Play Now games. When I do Play Now online, it's not hard to hit a shot. But man, in the park, nah.
So we passing on that. 2K, y'all can have that on back. 2K. We don't need that one. All right. This one that me and Mo was talking about earlier this week, I want to say. We was talking about LaMelo Ball. Do you shoot or pass on LaMelo Ball as one of the top picks in the draft?
I'm going to pass on LaMelo Ball, man.
Okay.
And I don't think he's a bad player. I really don't. I think that he will end up being a good player in the league. But he doesn't need to go top 5. I don't think he needs to go top 10. Mm-hmm. He can fall somewhere between 15 and 20. And I feel like the teams that are in that 15 and 20 range will be good spots for him to land.
Yeah.
But as far as him coming and being the face of some franchise, I just don't see it. I don't see it at all.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot on this one. I'm going to shoot on this one because I feel as though LaMelo Ball needs to fall somewhere where he got some vets. I feel like he should fall I feel like Golden State should take him with number 2. Well, he can sit behind Clay and Steph and learn a little bit from those guys. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Draymond has that same personality kind of as his dad. And so I think he needs to sit behind those guys, man, and kind of and learn how to play the game, you know, from their perspective. So I think he should go number 2. I mean, to the Golden State. Now, if Golden State gives up that pick to the Knicks, I can see the Knicks taking him. But I think he has all the intangibles to be a star player, man. The only thing is his broke jump shot, but other than that, I think he can be a really good player. He may be a
Yeah.
bust. I think for him, it's no in between. He's gonna be a star or he's gonna be a bust.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just,
that's how I feel about him. That's how I feel about it.
I'm interested. I'm interested because usually the youngest son usually be the best one. So I'm the youngest brother or the youngest sibling usually be the best one. So I'm interested to see what he's gonna do, man. I want to see. So we're gonna move on to the next one, and this is another one that me and Mo was arguing about. Zion Williamson. Are you shooting a pass on Zion Williamson? Zion Williamson for the long run. Shooting a pass.
I desperately want to shoot, but I don't think I'm a pass. I don't think that he's going to be able to get the weight off of him that he needs to get off of him. And part of the reason that his game is so unique right now is because of how explosive he is at his weight.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember maybe like the first or second time I watched him play. I watched him a little bit at Duke during the tournament, but I think it was like a scrimmage, an NBA scrimmage against the Knicks. And Kevin Knox was one of those guys that everybody was thinking was like an upcoming star.
Well, he just took it from him.
Man, he snatched that ball like he was a little kid.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that game. That was Summer League. That was like his first Summer League game. I remember that. Everybody was waiting on him to debut, and he debuted. Yeah. You know what? I want to shoot so bad on this one, man. I want to shoot so bad. But I think I'm gonna have to pass. I think I have to pass on him being a superstar, man. Like, he could be a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's so explosive. But I think if they try to take the weight off of him, I think it messes with his game.
Yep, I agree.
He plays bully ball. He goes in there on big boys, 7-footers. He go in there and throw his body around on him and just force his way to the goal, you know. But my only concern is, are his knees gonna be able to stand up to the grind of the NBA season? You know what I'm saying? With all of that weight coming down on him, every guy that I've seen that's explosive always has to have that knee surgery, that microfracture knee surgery, every time when they're so explosive. And with him, he got so much weight on top of those things too, man. I don't know that he makes it, man.
Part of the reason that I want him to be successful is because we're kind of getting to this point where all of the players that I grew up watching they're aging out.
Yeah.
And like LeBron is doing some crazy stuff at his age right now. But if you look at the guys like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and guys like that, like they're getting to this point where they're not in their primes anymore, and they're kind of coming to the back half of their careers.
Yeah.
Some because of injury, whatever the case may be. But now we're looking for the torch to pass.
Yeah.
And Giannis, I think, is that guy. I don't think he'll leave the East. So Giannis is that guy in the East, but there needs to be some type of balance. And it would be nice to have somebody in the West, because as far as young stars go, I think the East has most of the young stars.
Yeah.
Overall, the West is a better conference, but all the young stars are in the East.
I mean, you got a couple up and coming in the West. I mean, you got.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this then. So there are guys that can like completely take over a game. You know what I'm saying? Like the way LeBron and Kobe and like Durant and Curry, those guys can like snap and the game completely changes. Giannis is one of those guys. I mean, you come out of halftime, tied, or whatever, and then Giannis come down, blocking shots, dunking on people, whatever. So I just want to – I like a competitive league and a little bit of balance. So I'm hoping Zion is that guy, man. I'm hoping.
I feel you. Well, with that being said, man, this is D.
This is Cam.
And there's two guys in the ball. We'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.
All right.